Hi, and welcome to the newest Brickmania SitRep. We are going to talk about the JLTV with Slam and myself. I'm Dan, by the way.
And I'm Slam. You've seen us before.
Yeah.
You know who we are. So last time you talked to me, Dan was missing in action. He never returned from London. Somebody found him and mailed him in, so he's back.
I got stranded in New York by weather. so I'm back. I'm back, and I'm in an unusual. This is a new spot for me. So I'm usually on that side. So.
Do you want to switch?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. We can work this out. We'll get used to it. Anything we can get used to. So, as I said before, this is the JLTV, which means Joint Light Tactical Vehicle.
Okay.
And in particular, this is the M1078 model, which means it's the heavy guns carrier.
Okay. So. It's a great looking vehicle. I just got the art done on it earlier this week, and I think we did a pretty great job on it. I mean,
I think it's amazing. So we recycled a few things off the MATV because they are the same things. You know, the antenna piece, for example, that artwork was the same. The tail lights, we recycled artwork from, I think it was the Bradley that had first.
It's just a standard cargo light, I think.
Yeah. But you did all new doors. So this model has 4 opening doors on it, and you did quite a nice job of capturing the window look.
Yep. Printed the split doors on it with all the rivets. Yep, the up armored windows.
Yeah, and those rivets, they're actually like bolt-on points, so they can put on another armor kit. So there is a certain. It comes from the factory with a certain the A level armor, and I think they can put the B level armor on in the field. It's just a kit where that's where that bolt pattern comes around the door, so they can actually up armor the body.
Excellent. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Something I'm noticing as it goes around, you did capture the V shape of the hull of the compartment in the back there.
It's there's one thing that this model is unique compared to the MATV. This one actually has working suspension, and in the back, it's independent rear working suspension. So I don't know if you can even capture that, but that and it has that feature, and also the front suspension does have that play, and it actually is posable. So. You can have it steerable.
Steerable. Posable steering.
Yes,
If there's no steering wheel, it's not.
No, I don't have it. There's not enough room to have that connected to anything. It's just the limitations of the brick, or still the limitations of the brick.
Well, that's super cool.
But you can actually put the hood over it. Like on the real thing, mine doesn't necessarily move the way the real one's supposed to. It does open up like that to get to the engine compartment. So I do have that as a working feature on this model.
That is also super cool.
Right.
Got a new winch design up front.
New winch, brand new winch. The bars on here, if people saw my Instagram, they would notice that the bars on I guess they're brush bars that hang off the bottom of the bumper. It's a different piece than what I have showing on here. Or if you look at the renders, it'll be a different piece. So these pieces are different on the actual model. I just didn't have them. Stupid me left the original model, the original prototype, left it in my office in Florida.
So this is prototype number 2.
Yeah, this is prototype number 2. So now I have 2 of these. So, and then we'll have many more because this is went into production 3 days ago. So.
Excellent.
So,
all right, I see we've got a snorkel.
Yep.
What's the big antenna off the back? Do we know?
These are they're various antennas. Obviously, communications antennas. I don't know the specifications of each antenna. I think some of them have to do with countermeasures, and some have to do with communications. I think they're different purposes. So, the one thing that's unique about this particular model. Is this all-around protection turret on top?
Yeah, it's got a top on it, which you don't see very often.
Yeah, and it's to prevent people from tossing grenades or other weapons that can go into the top of the armor. It protects the operator in that turret. So, as the JLTV, this weapons carrier, it exists, doesn't necessarily have a turret on it. It's turret capable. So, depending on which what sort of armament they want to put on it, they'll put either this turret. They could put the Crow's turret, say we did on the MATV, or other configurations. This one just happens to be one that I thought would be most appropriate. Saw it a lot. You see it a lot on deployments.
How many variants of the JLTV are there?
Well, so far that I know of, there's 4.
Okay.
So M1078 is the most common.
Okay.
It's this configuration. It's designed to carry weapons. They go up M1078, 1079, 80, 81, and they're just different specialties. This being designed to carry a heavy weapon, i.e. a turret on the rooftop here. So
yeah, looks similar to how the Humvees ended up looking at the end of their
Right. Well, it's a
build,
similar concept. So
Yeah.
the Humvees were used have been used as like the ubiquitous United States Army and Marine Corps and all military branches. Actually, they're tactical vehicle or utility vehicle, I should say more precisely. Tactical would say, hey, it's got armor, it's got guns. Humvee is just a general purpose vehicle. Whereas the JLTV family is a tactical vehicle because it's armored. It's meant to go into a combat zone. Light combat. It's not meant to be like, it's not a tank by any means, but
Right.
it is a armored vehicle in that sort of like utility role, but definitely up armored from the Humvee, able to survive mine blasts, or much more survivable than any of the Humvees, or in that sort of family of MRAP family.
And we just put out an MATV, correct?
MATV, yes.
Yep.
So
And the difference between the JLTV and the MATV?
MATV is a truck-based model. So like, let's say the Humvee turned out to be not the ideal platform for going into an area, say that with hostile forces and potentially IEDs, mines, improvised weapons. So they wanted to bring an up armored vehicle in, and they took a truck chassis, put on a armored body for the crew to survive in, and then have a V-shaped hull. So if it hits a mine, that blast will be diverted away from the passenger compartment.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
MATV was the earliest versions of that. When in the early 2000s, they needed to get these vehicles to the troops, say in Afghanistan and Iraq, on the double. They took an existing truck body, which was the family of light, medium tactical trucks, whatever you want to call it, and then turned it into a 4-passenger vehicle.
Awesome.
The difference between that and the JLTV is that this is purpose built from the ground up to be this vehicle. They didn't use a existing military vehicle and adapt it. They designed, this one happens to be Oshkosh's design. A bunch of people threw their hat in the ring, said, hey, we're going to design this new vehicle. Main difference, aside from the ground up design, ground up.
Entirely new build.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right?
Build vehicle. The main consideration is weight. This thing is considerably lighter than an MATV.
Okay.
So for every one MATV, you've got like 2 or 3 of these actually in the weight category. This thing travels much faster. It's comparable in the amount of armor plating it has on it, the armor kits that can be added onto this. Very similar, but this thing is much more mobile.
Okay.
It doesn't have quite the payload capacity, but it's still considerably large considering the vehicle it is.
Yeah, it seems like it sits very, very tall.
It does.
It's an imposing looking vehicle.
It sits tall, and even as you see it right now, it's not even as high as it could be. On a real vehicle, they actually have it's a capability. I think it's hydraulic capability. It can sit down real low for transportation, and then when they want to have high ground clearance, they can actually jack the whole vehicle up. It's pretty
Good for street racing and for
exactly.
off-roading. Okay,
Exactly.
great, yeah. Cool. And this is mostly used by the Marine Corps, or is this used
No,
by
this
all the
is
services?
J in JLTV means joint. So
okay.
joint light tactical vehicle. So to save money, the armed forces and the government wanted to have a vehicle that all of the branches could use. Therefore, it's joint light tactical vehicle. It would fulfill the roles that the Marines wanted, the Army requirements, and then of course the Air Force and Navy. They do have limited reasons to have these things too when they have for base patrol, things like that. So.
There's probably a coasty version of it somewhere.
There could be. I don't know. I'm sure it's an availability if they needed it. So they are exported to other countries too. So it's not just. It was designed to fulfill as many roles as possible and be exportable as well.
It's a great looking model. Yeah, it's got plenty of room for stowage in the back.
Yep. If you take the turret off, you can fit 2 guys in the back seat. The turret does kind of occupy the in-between space. So if you wanted to have your guys in, you want to have 4 guys plus the turret in there, you're gonna have to rip one of their arms off in order to do it. But that's,
Classic Lego vehicle problem.
right? Yeah, they're not the guys aren't capable of sitting side by side with that turret in the back. But you can still put the 2 drivers in, so you can have 3 people operating in this vehicle. We do have a crew pack that happens to be coming out at the same time, not necessarily for this.
This comes with no minifigs?
No minifigs.
Okay, just the vehicle.
So, and then Amanda did that MODCOM
Pack.
MODCOM Squad Pack Part 1.
Yeah, you might recognize some of those figs.
Right. They're definitely take some inspiration off of some pop culture things that we won't discuss, but they're inspired.
Yeah, yeah. Sure. I'm very excited about those. That new skull face piece is just real cool.
Yeah,
super cool.
It's not printed on the head, so actually you can take the piece off.
There's printing under it, which is also super great, super rad. But yeah,
so we can reveal the operator underneath who's under the mask.
No, because it's a mask underneath still. Yeah, it's masks all the way down. You will never know.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else to say about this model?
No, I'm quite impressed. You're just gonna have to imagine all the cool printing on here. It's printed headlights, printed, the doors, it's just.
I imagine Camera Guy can put up some kind of graphic showing the complete model at this point in time.
Yeah. So
maybe
we don't have a prototype printed yet, but this is the model without the printing on it.
Okay.
The windscreen is nice.
Thank you.
I have to admit, particularly nice.
Thank you. I enjoy making windshield wipers. Yes. Yeah.
Armored windows and windshield wipers. Nice.
Expertise. Cool. What else do we have to talk about in the sit rep? Is there anything going on in the store this week? Online. We've got the 2 new releases, right?
2 new releases, actually 3.
3.
We got two drops. We have the minifig drop. So there's
the MODCOM squad pack.
The MODCOM squad pack. We have obviously have the JLTV here, the N1078, and then we have the Kettenkrad, the SDKFZ2. And I'm not even gonna try to butcher the whole German pronunciation. The Kettenkrad. It's
everybody's favorite tracked
motorcycle.
Tracked
motorcycle.
Yeah. It's
so that Jasta 11 put together. It's a complete rebuild. It's not necessarily like a upgrade of my old one. It's a complete rebuild of the Kettenkrad. Really looks really good with the camouflage paint job and then cool printed elements that really highlights.
Made a new drive gear for that, and also got to put on the standard German vehicle marking saying how many passengers it's allowed to have and what it's carrying. Yeah, it's all its ratings.
Oh, hey, we're getting good at making these vehicle markings.
Anytime I can do that, I'm happy.
So, and then the last thing, I think that there are 2 side caps, printed side caps coming out. German side caps, World War II side caps. Some of the most requested items with printing on them. So the side caps, I believe we have a Panzer crewman, and then we have a regular here soldier side cap. So
great.
If your guys aren't wearing their stall helms, they're going to definitely need some head cover, and this is our chance to provide that for you.
Should be very popular. Okay, cool.
Well, that's it for this week. Okay. We will get back to you next week with another exciting episode.
We'll have another episode.
Yeah, is it exciting? I don't know.
It's got Legos. They're military based. It's super exciting.
Yeah.
All right, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week.